Well, parents usually want their children to do better than they did, especially when it comes to money. So how can you kickstart a young kid's wealth building journey early? Joining us now is our resident dad and Yahoo Finance contributor, Ross Mack. Ross, I mean, people have seen your videos, your viral TikToks and Instagram reels about how you're teaching your kids. How have you started investing as well for your kids?
Brad, thanks so much for having me. And I echo everything that Rachel was saying, right? Everything started off first with just the information of helping them understand the eco of where money comes from. It comes from work, right? But I think another thing we talk about is helping them understand how your money can also work for you. And that's the next step, right? And I love talking about the type of accounts that I'm opening for my 3 children, right? One of them is obviously a custodial account. And I think it's very important to start showing your kids a lot of the companies that they use on a day-to-day, right? I think so often we're conditioned to be consumers, but now it's all about teaching your kids to also be owners. And so for starters, right, if my children are on YouTube every day, I think it's important to help them understand Google owns YouTube. Now you own a little Google. So every time you're on it, guess what? You're actually helping pay yourself. If my children like wearing Nike, if they like eating at McDonald's, Chipotle, et cetera, it's all about showing them a lot of the companies that they spend money with, then now you could also be an owner. So starting off, I love giving the kids a custodial account. And another thing is a custodial Roth IRA. I love the idea of, one, setting my kids up for a better life than I had, but also the ability to, hey, hopefully my kids will not be in my pocket years down the line, right? I think a few $100s, put aside every month, compounded, could truly be the difference in my children actually having student loans, or once again, saying, Mom, Dad, I need some money.
Absolutely. So also, we got to talk about 529 accounts. What are they? How do they help?
I love 529s. All 3 of my children have them. So what a 529 is, it is a tax advantage college savings plan. I want you to think of it like a 401k, right? Where literally you're putting money aside, and every month, once again, it's compounding. But the good thing is the moment that money, one, is going to grow tax-free, but the moment you need that money for qualified educational expenses, those gains are also going to be tax-free. And so the good thing is, one, they just changed the rules, the IRS this year, which, some people will say, oh, well, what if my kids don't go to school, right? I'm going to have the next LeBron James. Either my kid is going to get an academic scholarship or they're going to get a sports scholarship. Well, the reality is, one, you have the ability now to actually roll over some of the unused 529 into a Roth IRA. So at the end of the day, it is the perfect investment account for your children to, one, ensure that they don't have to go down the rabbit hole of having a ton of student loan debt.
And then just lastly, are there risks to adding kids to your credit card? I mean, this was a controversial decision in some households. Do you give a kid a credit card? Do you add them to your credit card? I mean, where have you seen this stack up?
I think it's very important to, one, help your children even understand about credit early on, right? Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. The moment I got on the college campus, one, I had no credit history, and 2, I was getting a credit card offer in the mail every other day, right? And so I think it's very important to actually start talking about credit, because when I graduated, I had no credit. Therefore, I needed my mom to be a co-signer, a guarantor for my lease, right? But there are benefits and there are drawbacks. I think the best benefit is, one, helping your children start establishing credit early on. That will, one, help them potentially not need their parent to be a co-signer. And also, right, I think it's just giving them the ability to have 10 plus years of hopefully good credit. So now the potential drawback is this, right? In the event the parent has bad credit, in the event the parent isn't paying those bills back, paying those bills on time, that could potentially impact the children's credit.